live. We're back in action with round 10 of the MotoGP World Championship, coming to you from the Red Bull Ring in Austria.
Miguel Oliveira, the pride of Portugal. The number 88 claimed his first ever MotoGP win here at the Styrian Grand Prix last year.
That's brilliant by Miguel Oliveira.
Will we see the KTM rider defend his crown at the Red Bull Ring?
Yeah, it feels quite good to be back racing. Everything is, you know, exciting because you're getting with a lot of energy at the start of the second half of the season. So the training has been same as in pre-season because we don't have, let's say, our bike training or we don't have MotoGP riding in the equation. So we decided to go back to the whole building up pre-season training, and so that's what we did. It was a bit intense, but that's what we need now: build a good, strong physical condition to be able to keep a good performance throughout the whole second part of the season until November. This helmet is from 2019 season. It was a special edition helmet that we made specifically for Spielberg's. Basically filled with photos from my fans showing their support. Vienna is a place where I don't find anything which connects me to my racing world. So every time I want to disconnect and just be on my own with my own thoughts. And as I said, you know, you have everything in hand here. You have a great quality of life. The city is beautiful. It's beautiful. It has a lot of history. It's a great place to be. Easy. Spielberg was, when we had the fans, was the best Grand Prix of the whole season. So we are expecting, of course, a great atmosphere, and we look forward to see the grandstands as full as possible. I ride for Red Bull, for KTM, and so this makes it special. The atmosphere, the people who come to watch us, or even the people who are at home, they are dressed up, I believe, with the orange shirts, and so they take a lot of pride in what we are doing here, and they want our success. So it would be nice to finish with a good result and give back what they wish for.
Well, I think this track is special because it has a lot of top speed and hard braking. So you need to focus to have a fast bike and also to have a good bike for overtaking in the braking.
I mean, the whole track is nice. Every part has its different characteristic. I would say the last sector, the two last corners, turn 9 and turn 10, are two downhill corners. The last one with a depression on the middle of the apex, so that makes it quite nice to do the corner.
To make a good race at this track, I think you need to be very fast in braking. One of the key, I think, in this track is to be consistent.
You know, there's a few tracks in the world where you say, that's really different. And you look at the layout or you look at it from above and you think, oh, it's quite simple and stuff, but there's these little elevation changes, there's these little cambers that make everything that much tricky when you're only on 2 wheels. On this track, it takes it to another level.
On the MotoGP bike, the whole track, in fact, is amazing.
Last year was perfect. It's hard that you make a last corner plan, you know what I mean? So I was just, I couldn't be faster than them, so I needed to just be there and take an advantage of any situation, so that's what I did.
It's going to be done! Oliveira wins it! Unbelievable! What a finish! What a last lap to the... They can't believe it in Tech 3! Miguel Oliveira has won an unbelievable restarted Styrian Grand Prix! Here is your history-making first Portuguese man to win in MotoGP. Congratulations to Miguel Oliveira. He takes his first win in the MotoGP World Championship on a truly unforgettable day here in the Styrian Grand Prix. It's a warm welcome back to MotoGP fans then after a long 5-week summer break. We are back in Austria, of course. 2 races held here last year, 2 races coming your way.
The team is quite big, and I'm privileged to have so many guys looking into every detail. I have more contact with my crew chief, Paul, and this is the guy who I spend more time talking to, and he's the guy who is you know, keeping me up to date to everything that is going around me, around the bike.
We've got a fantastic team with a lot of years of experience, so guys that have been doing it for a long time. But of course, the team atmosphere and things is really, really important. You know, it's a massive part also for the rider to come into a calm, happy place and things. So it's something I take really, really seriously. We found it quickly to be able to be honest and speak to each other, you know what I mean? He's got so many strong points, you know? The inner strength, the calculation when he's racing, the not putting himself under pressure, always trying to make the right choices and stuff. And I think this is coming more and more, and he's getting more confidence and stuff, and he's still growing a lot. So I think the guy will have a great career.
My expectations, for sure, the beginning was harsh because I didn't do many points, and I was getting behind on the standings, and I needed a good result to really turn my spirit around. Not only my one, but also the team spirit. We found a good place mentally to be, and we kept putting in good weekends. So I say I'm happy with the first half of the season. We've scored a considerable amount of points, not as much as we wanted to, but we've done the best, and so this is the feeling I want to finish the season with. We've done the best we could to be the best, and when that's not enough, we need to look into the detail and see what could have gone a little bit better, so that's what we did in the first half of the season. Key here in Spielberg, you have many breaking points where you can lose time. It's really important to be very precise and constant throughout the whole race.
Huge weekend here, and of course next weekend for KTM Motorsport. They'll be looking for big results from Miguel Oliveira.
Team.
What has happened here to Miguel Oliveira?
Now
That is an odd place to see a motorcycle down. Yeah, a high side. He was cruising, wasn't he, on the outside line there?
You know what happened there?
Yes, I say he's cruising. He wasn't at all. He was actually up.
Yeah, well, what's happened
went wide.
It looks like he's running wide, maybe onto a dirty part of the track.
After 5 weeks off, we're back in action with round 10 of the MotoGP World Championship, coming to you from the Red Bull Ring in Austria. The hills will be alive with the sound of MotoGP. Welcome to qualifying day for the Grand Prix of Styria.
Yesterday wasn't one of our brightest days. It wasn't one of our best days. You know, we had a small technical problem at the beginning of the session. He injured the worst part of his body that you could for this track. You know, if it had been just the other hand, if it had been not the hand and more the forearm, then I would have felt better, you know what, but at this track and the way you have to ride it and manage these bikes, it was the worst thing that we could possibly do, you know, and it wasn't my greatest day at the job, for sure. I wanted to be there to make sure I understood also what the doctors were saying, because it's also my job to make sure I put him back on a bike when I think it's safe. So once we figured out that that was okay, then it was to try to understand how much pain it was, you know, so we let him ride that one lap in FP2, well, we hoped for more, but it was just impossible. You know, the pain was just too tense, you know, so then it was all about, okay, can you manage it or not? So yeah, we can't turn back the clock, so we just said, okay, let's go forward, you know, let's see what we can do.
Welcome back to Austria here, qualifying for the Grand Prix of Styria after 5 weeks off. We are getting ourselves ready now for Q1, as crucial as ever. Oliveira fighting through the pain.
That's brilliant by Miguel Oliveira when you think about the passion he gave that right hand.
Yeah, that's excellent from Oliveira. Oliveira 23.552. KTM on their home Grand Prix. They do have one rider at least out of their 5 here this weekend that will go through to Q2. Miguel Oliveira then.
I mean, I learned again something new from Miguel today, you know, the inner strength. You know, he's not a guy who is showing everything on the outside or whatever, but to put the effort in and to dig that deep and you know, he didn't even know if the bike was working correctly when we put it out there again today and stuff, but the trust he has and the inner strength he has, this is, again, I learned this from him today, so he made me proud today. Yeah, it's emotional because yeah, like I said, I was proud of him today, you know, and it was nice to see that he could do that. So I owe him one, put it that way.
A very good morning to you and welcome to Austria for round 10 of the MotoGP World Championship. We begin the second half of the season back at the Red Bull Ring. But we've still got, what, just 22 minutes left before we start racing. Here's your most recent winner, Miguel Oliveira.
And what a return to MotoGP action it's been for Dani Pedrosa.
We are back now. Lights out and away we go. Something's happened to number 26.
Oh,
goodness me.
This will be a red flag.
This has got to be. Yeah, red flag out, race stopped.
Turn 3 yet again.
Dani Pedrosa is okay.
Not the way he was hoping to return.
Both riders are okay. We are good to go for take 2. Eyes on the lights. Out they go. Miguel Oliveira.
That's a real shame because he was working incredibly hard to keep himself inside the top 10. He said on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain in that right hand, a full 10. He knew it was going to be a tough race, so that's cruel in the extreme for Oliveira.
It was a complete weekend in the sense of having a lot of emotions and a lot of things to deal with, but yeah, we wished our effort would translate in a result, but it didn't this time, so sometimes it's racing, you know, can be a little bit frustrating, but that's life, you know. We had a malfunction with the tire. I mean, it was not any bike issue, it was just the front tire that was starting to vibrate a lot, and yeah, it had a defect when I stopped, and so we could clearly see the problem. And of course it's frustrating, but you need to learn to give away what's not in your control and just, you know, live with it and try to be positive. At this moment, my mental strategy is that one, look forward to next weekend and turn things around. That's the only thing I can wish for. So at the end, you can really take some positives and carry on, at least to something to look forward to.